بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. When conditions come, we should pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Allah knows what is good for us. The coming of conditions, the going of possessions is in the hands of Allah. It is Allah's decision, it is Allah's decree. Allah knows the hikmah and the wisdom behind it. Inna Allah azza wa jalla yaqulu lil malaika, Allah addresses the malaika, go to my servant, فَصُبُّوا عَلَيْهِ الْبَلَاءَ صَبًّا, and shower difficulties, trials, hardship upon my servant. Then this difficulties come and the servant praises Allah, no matter what the hal, what the loss, what the trial, what the tribulation. Farishtas come back to Allah and says, Ya Rabbana sababna alayhi al-bala'a sabba. Ya Allah, we flooded him with calamities as you instructed. Allah tells the malaika, irji'u fa inni uhibbu an asma'a sawtahu. I love his voice, I love his utterance, it is very beloved to me. Go back to my servant. So difficulties that come, we should praise Allah, we shouldn't expose it, complain, tell everybody, tell the world, your problem is between you and Allah. Talk to Allah. We've been solving our problems to makhluk and through the creation. Solve it with Allah. Man usiba bi musibatin bimalin aw fi nafsi fakatamaha. Any calamity that befalls you and you hide it, you don't expose it, كان حقا على الله أن يغفر له. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes responsibility to forgive this person here. So that matter is between us and Allah. Let us keep it like that. Exposing to the creation is exposing ourselves. Number 11, when we see conditions and people going through these trials and tribulations, we should have yaqeen in this dua of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam, that when you see a person afflicted with a calamity, man ra'a sahiba bala'in faqala, and to read this dua here, Alhamdulillahi alladhi afani mimma batalaka bihi wa faddalani ala kathirin mimman khalaqa tafdila. After saying this dua here, all praises to Allah who saved me from that which He has afflicted you with, and blessed me greatly over many of those whom Allah has created. Then through the barakah of this dua ya illa ufiya min dhalika al-bala ka'inan ma kana ma'ash, he will be saved from that affliction as long as he lives. So we should have yaqeen in the words of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. Number 12, to populate the musajid. إنما يأمر مساجد الله من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر. Those people whose iman is strong and they have yaqeen in the abadi and the population of the masjid, these are min al-muhtadeen, they are the rightly guided people. So our first point of return is turning to the masajid, to the buyut of Allah, from Baytul Ma'mur to the Kaaba, and from the Kaaba to every masjid on earth. Those are the places where we draw from the rahmah, the mercy and the nur of Allah, to such an extent that when a calamity and an adab supposed to befall any nation, Hadith Qudsi, وَعِزَّتِي وَجَلَالِي إِنِّي لَهُمُّ بِأَهْلِ الْأَرْضِ أَذَابًا, a decision is made and a calamity is soon to befall a locality. فَإِذَا نَظَرْتُ إِلَىٰ أُمَّارِ بُيُوتِ, I look at the houses of Allah, is it populated or deserted? وَإِلَى الْمُتَحَابِّينَ فِيهَا, and are the believers meeting and departing for the pleasure of Allah? You've got no motives. وَإِلَى الْمُسْتَغْفِرِينَ بِالْأَسْحَارِ, and in the darkness of the night are there people seeking forgiveness. The closer you get to Allah, the more you realize the flaws you have. Saraftu dhalika anhum, that calamity that was at their doorstep, I stop it, I prevent it. Another riwayat, إذا أراد الله بقوم آهة نظر إلى أهل المساجد. When a catastrophe is to befall any locality, I look at the masjid. فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُمْ. I see the masjid is abad, it is filled. At the time of salah, are there 100% musallis in the masjid? Every baligh male should be in the masjid, and that should be our fikr. Likewise, every person's fikr should be how to make the masjid abad, and Aamaal of the masjid, da'wat, ta'aleem, learning and teaching, dhikr and ibadah, the Aamaal of nubuwah and the akhlaq of Nabi alayhi salam, the desire to make khidmah of the ummah. The masajid are the marakis of hidayat. They are the foundations that have been built on taqwa and the marakis of hidayat. A Jamaat was in a foreign country. They were having qaylula. There was a knock at the masjid door. A Buddhist in a mountain left his place of worship in his temple and came to the masjid. He asked, one sati was awake, he asked, what are you people doing? He said, nothing serious. He said, no, what are you doing? He said, they are all sleeping. He said, no. There's something special happening here. It doesn't make sense. He said, yes, you're correct. They're making qaylula. It is a sunnat of our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, I was worshipping my God, my idol, when I seen a light from the earth where you are to the sky. I see I need to come investigate what is this noor and this light. It was this year, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allah gave him hidayat to the Aamaal that was taking place in the masjid and the barakah of the sunnah of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. Innama ummarul masajid hum ahlullah. Those people who frequent the masajid and fill it with ibadah and Aamaal are the people of Allah. Hum ahlullah. They are the people of Allah. Innal masajid buyutullahi fil ard. They are the houses of Allah on earth. Wa innahu haqqun ala Allahi ay yukrima man zarahu fiha. And whoever is the visitor of Allah, the Zair, Allah takes responsibility to honor this person. Allah will never abandon his guest. You are the guest of Allah. So we need to use these masajid. They are platforms of hidayat. Aqimis salat, iqamis salah. It is establishing salah. Establishing salat is Aqimis salah li dhikri. Establish salat so much, then even forget in salat remembering Allah. Outside salat also remember Allah. So to establish the Aamaal of deen in the masajid. Saeed Khan sahab rahmatullah used to say, मुसलमानों के लिए बहुत रोने वाला है, लेकिन इस्लाम के लिए कोई रोने वाला नहीं है. There are many people who will cry for the Muslims, but they are very few. They are rare people who cry for Islam. When the deen of Allah is dying on earth, who is there to see that this deen comes alive? Yes, it is meritorious, it is needed, it is part of deen, it is virtuous, it is imperative to worry and fulfill the needs of the people of Iman. And when situations come, how can we assist and go out and exhaust ourselves to assist the people of Iman? Maulana's point is that who is there to assist? Man ansari ilallah. Who is there to help the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So Sahaba made the masajid, the marakis, their homes, and dunya was the baytul khala, the place where you fulfill your necessities, relieve yourself. When a person goes to relieve themselves, they go in and out, fulfill the requirement and necessity. The masjid was the maqsad objective, dunya was necessity. We have inverted it and got it wrong. We have made the dunya our maqsad and the masjid the place of necessity. So people come last in the masjid and first out. Go in, just finish your salah. It does not work like that. Sahaba had shops for the masajid. Security is to secure a deal with Allah in the asman. So yes, physical patrolling and the need, it's virtuous and meritorious, but long term. Sahaba established the Aamaal of the masjid, and when the taqaza came for security, then they were in the front line. They understood the primary security for the ummah is the masajid, and secondary security is the external security which needs to be prepped. Ashab Sufa were on 24-hour duty in the masjid for Aamaal of the masjid. Some Sahaba won 12-hour shifts. Umar radiallahu anh used to rotate half time. So if we have to go to the houses of Sahaba and say, where's the Sahabi? Is in the masjid. When is he coming back? I don't know. One day, 1 week, 1 year, never. He'll become Shaheed. Tashkil will be made. If he's gone to the marketplace, to the shop, when the Sahabi is coming back? Now. Go to our houses. Where's your husband? He's in the masjid. When's he coming back? Now, in the next 5 minutes. Where's your husband? He's in the masjid. He's coming back in 5-10 minutes. He just went for salah quickly. Where's your husband? He's in the shop. When he's coming back, I don't know. He went this morning. He maybe go load stock. He'll come late. He works overtime. I don't know. رِجَالٌ لَا تُلْهِيهِمْ تِجَارَةٌ وَلَا بَيْءٌ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. The business, Sahaba knew the business of Akhirah. Allah praised their bazaars. Allah save us today, we can't even praise our masajid. The marketplaces, the shopping centers of Sahaba were praiseworthy. Today we cannot praise our masajid. We can praise the external decoration, but the actual decoration is the musalli. How much musallis are in the masjid? How abad is it with Aamaal? That is the noor of the masjid. Even a musalli closest to Allah in sajda is furthest away from Allah. Ibn Masud, when seeing people in the bazaar and the azan was given, they left everything immediately. And he says, these are the people whom Allah has spoken in His kitab. When they had scales and things are being weighed and the adhan went, they dropped everything. Are we dropping everything for Allah? Are we dropping Allah for something insignificant like dunya? Number 13, the Aamaal that we are doing, effort should be made to perfect those Aamaal. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Not just to do Aamaal, but to do Aamaal that are perfect according to the requisites. Somebody is making tilawat of Quran, but we're not reading with tajweed. Maulana Abrarul Haq Ardai rahmatullahi alayhi say, somebody says Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. He said, you're not reading Quran. It's Alhamdu wa taha, Alameen wa tan'ain. You are not reading Quran. Somebody reads the ayat of the Quran, Ala la'natullahi ala al-kadhibin. Curse of Allah on the liars. Those people that lie. Ala la'natullahi ala al-zalimin. He's a liar, he's reading it, he's making badwa on himself. He's an oppressor, he's making badwa on himself. He's doing a good deed, but he's causing badwa and curses on himself. Ilyas used to say, الدنيا سجن المؤمن وجنة الكافر. This world is a prison for the believer and a paradise for a disbeliever. So how we have not been sent in this world to follow our desires and make it a Jannah, but we have been sent to oppose this nafs and follow every command of Allah, which becomes and makes it a prison. He used to say, now if we follow our desires like a kafir and make this dunya a Jannah, then this is their Jannah. we are stealing from their Jannah, we are looters from the kafir's Jannah. And a person who is a looter, he is a thief. And a person who is a thief, he is a zalim. And Allah's help is not what a zalim and oppressor. Allah's help is what the oppressed. So la'natullahi ala zalimeen, we are cursing ourselves. Even great Aamaal, if a person doesn't do tabligh properly, there will be consequences. So doing Aamaal properly. Mawlana Ilyas used to say that when people will see the barakat of tabligh, then the work will carry on, but only now in the beginning you'll see the barakat. But the harakat is another aspect, the sacrifice that is needed. So one is barakah, one is harakah. And he gave an example. He said when Nabi alayhi salam was born, the barakat was visible, the fire became extinguished, etc. But the real work started afterwards. So we're thinking we're doing the work and this is barakah. No, you haven't even started the work. And he said that the work of tabligh has not started yet. When the actual work will start, the world will see the glory of Islam like the time of Sahaba. If the real work does not begin and it remains like this, people doing tabligh for barakah, and you see in the barakat, people will regard this as a movement amongst many movements, and people will start leaving the effort of tabligh. And he said those fitnas and calamities which were to come in years ahead will come in months. It will be accelerated. Understand this well. A person is doing ta'aleem, the knowledge of deen. He's doing dhikr, remembering of Allah. What Mawlana Ilyas used to say, knowledge without dhikr is darkness. Dhikr without knowledge is a door to many evils. It is a door to many evils. So even our salah, we read in salah, great ibadah. In salat, a person is performing salat liwaqtiha wa azbagha wudu'aha wa atamma ruku'aha wa sujudaha wa khushu'a. You read salat properly, you made wudu properly, you fulfill the requisites, you have concentration, then it elevates, it rises to the asman. Wa hiya bayda'u musfirah. And it is bright and brilliant. The doors of the heavens open until it reaches Allah. فَتَشْفَى لِصَاحِبِهَا. It will intercede on the reciter and it makes dua for him. حَفِظَكَ اللَّهُ كَمَا حَفِظْتَنِي. May Allah protect you like you protected me. But you don't read on time, you're not particular with salat, with jamaat, your wudu you did rushingly, your namaz just up and down quickly, go back to town. No khushu and concentration. وَهِيَ سَوْدَاءُ مُظْلِمَةٌ. It elevates and goes to the asman and it is dark and it starts making badwa. ضَيَّأَكَ اللَّهُ كَمَا ضَيَّعْتَنِي. May Allah destroy you how you have destroyed me. And then يُلَفُّ الثَّوْبُ الْخَلِقِ. Like how an old cloth is crushed. فَيُضْرَبُ بِهَا وَجْهَ صَاحِبِهَا. And it is thrown back in his face. Either the salah will make dua for you or badwa, curse a person. Number 14. To perform salah. فَصَلِّ فَإِنَّ فِي الصَّلَاةِ شِفَاء. There is shifa, a cure, a remedy, a solution in salah. Ibn Qayyim says, فَالصَّلَاةِ مِنْ أَكْبَرِ الْأَوْنِ عَلَى تَحْصِيلِ مَصَالِحِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. To solve all the problems of dunya and akhirah, resort to salat. إِذَا حَزَبَهُ أَمْرٌ فَزِعَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ. Any difficulty, hardship, Nabi alayhi salam used to turn to salah. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Turn to salah. In Badr, Sahaba said, وَلَقَدْ رَأَيْتُنَا. The condition was such, Nabi alayhi salam was تحت شجرة يصلي ويبكي حتى أصبح. Entire night he was in salat crying to Allah. استيقظ النبي ذات ليلة أيقظوا. He woke up one night. Wake up everybody so they can read Salah. Ibn Hajar says in this hadith, it tells you استباب الإسراف إلى الصلاة إن خشية الشرم. When any problem, calamity turns to Salah. إذا فزعتم من أفق من آفاق السماء فافزعوا إلى الصلاة. Turn to Salah. من كانت له حاجة إلى الله أو لا أحد من خلقه فليتوضأ. صلاة الحاجة. Turn to Salah. Person who reads Salat with Jamaat Fajr, man Salla Salat as-Subh fi Jama'atin fa fi dhimmatillah. You are under the protection of Allah. Be particular about our faraid. Be particular about our nawafil. Salatul Duha, Salatul Ishraq. Yabna Adam akfini arba raka'at. Read the 4 rakats in the beginning of the morning. لا تعجز عن 4 ركعات من أول النهار. Early morning. أكفك آخره. I will suffice for all your needs. Ulama say, what is the meaning of this? في حفظ الله. You are in the protection of Allah. فيحفظه من شر ما يقع في آخر هذا اليوم. Whatever harm will come to you the entire day, fi dinihi wa dunyahu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you. May Allah give us tawfiq of making amal. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.